Hi ho, it's off to pick up a road grader we go. But he didn't get back.
How you doing?
So
good.
Apparently the brakes don't work, so, you know, good thing we're going uphill.
But it wasn't only the brakes. This old grader also didn't seem like it wanted to start.
Is there some secret that we can't get it to start?
Yeah, I'll come and look at it.
I don't know, you've actually seen it run before, I haven't.
Well, it had to have started. He got it on.
I know, he drove it on there, but we can't figure it out.
Okay.
It cranks, but we sprayed a ton of ether at it and it didn't even try to fire really.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Maybe
Not specifically, but he's gonna look at it, so I don't know, maybe he'll have some sort of idea when he sees it.
do you remember all the crazy machines we watched on YouTube? The crazy snow bikes
And the motorcycle with the giant tire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I built that.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Alright, we'll just spray some ether right down its gullet while you're cranking it.
Let me try this.
Alright. What was that?
Fire?
It did for a second. What were you doing different? Well, let me pull this side cover off so I can whack the starter. The starter's just clicking. Alright. Try that. Yeah. I'm looking to see if there's some sort of bleeder or if anything we can open. Oh yeah, there's the bottom of the fuel filter here. I can. Yeah. There's a little.
It's always something, huh?
It's always something. Gave you no troubles loading it up, huh?
No, I got there, I talked to him, and then while I turned the trailer around, he fired it up and followed me, and
Nothing yet.
so unless he did something funny, but I don't think so. It started and idled up there just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I threaded that all the way out, and there's
There's
one,
no fuel.
2 drips came out of it. All right, so as a quick theory here, though, this line goes straight into the or into the supercharger.
Yeah, so that should be able
Just hand me the can of ether and just crank it over, and I'll give it a direct squirt, and we'll see if it fires up for a second. I mean, it should. It's it's a diesel. If it's got compression and something combustible in it, it'll run.
Yeah.
All right, give it a crank. All right, well, that didn't really do anything. I couldn't get it to go down that hose. Well, I can run up with the Humvee real quick and grab some diesel and a jumper pack so we can get some more juice. That'll probably take less time than monkeying around with it. Chris and I decided to team up and just buy a road grader to maintain our road. We found one for like 13 grand. It's older, but you know, we have the skills to fix it. And you know, for the last 30 years, this road has been maintained by just a random assortment of people donating money and then randomly chipping in to grade the road. So now we're just gonna take matters into our own hands.
It's going to be much better this way.
Yes. And also, we get to have a road grader. Like, we can also take it over to the other property and grade the road up there. You know, grade the rally track. Okay, well, there's plenty of fuel coming out that line now.
Yeah.
So there's fuel going into there.
So it should come out of there. Right?
I would assume. And something tells me a 2-stroke diesel made in this 80s, is probably a little finicky about running out of fuel. Thank you.
Well, I think any diesel doesn't like to.
Yeah, but some of them are better at recovering than
Yeah,
others.
for sure.
Yeah. Whoops.
It's got plenty.
Yeah, there's fuel there. Look, see this?
Yeah.
This is the emergency stop, not the fuel stop. See that? When you pull it up,
Oh yeah.
it shuts this, and then no matter how many times you pull it, it doesn't re-engage until you push this back down.
That's it.
That's all it was. I would bet money.
I would bet money too.
Now we know. Figured that problem out day one. Well, that was some shenanigans.
It's always something with these kind of things.
It is. It is always something.
Hey, it ended up being pretty simple though.
Oh, it was extremely simple. It's just a little lever that's hidden. You can pull the lever all you want and push it, but it doesn't re-engage until there's a little, like the emergency stop thing. It stays shut off no matter what you do until you go in there and flip the little lever, but we didn't notice that right away. It's kind of, you know, not obvious.
This is actually my first time driving this since it got supercharged, and I really want to give it the beans, but I'm following a man and his new machine. It's probably somewhat hard to see, like,
Yeah, you can see the ends of the blade really well, but you can't see the middle of it at all, so.
Yeah, that's, if, stand up and look though.
Well, yeah, I mean, standing up's better, but.
That's what a lot of guys do is stand
Yeah,
up.
you stand. I mean, you can tell it's built to be to stand up.
Stand up in, yeah.
Yeah.
And you miss a couple days at Grind Hard and things get crazy.
Yeah. Now we have a road grader.
Why are the front tires a different way than the rears?
Because they're for steering only, and I guess I don't know. Somebody probably decided that they steer better
Okay.
that way. It's only 4-wheel drive, not 6.
Do you rotate wheels on a grader?
Rotate the tires?
Yeah.
I would assume not. You probably just use them until they're used up, and then you replace them. But
Yeah.
it's got a 2-stroke diesel. Got a 6-cylinder Detroit with a big old supercharger on the side of it.
Does Alibaba make like a really tiny one of these?
No, not really.
Dang it.
The smallest you can get of one of these is to put an attachment on a skid steer. Really, that's the easiest way to have a small one.
I see.
But yeah, look at that.
Wow, look at that starter.
Yeah, the solenoid on the starter is bigger than like the
Yeah.
average starter.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Big old supercharger on the side.
Woo!
also, Edmund, that would be your first thought. You see this and you go, can you get a different kind of it on Alibaba?
Just a really tiny one. Is this a brake or a clutch?
Well, currently it's a pedal that does nothing because the brakes don't actually work, but it's
Oh.
supposed to be the brakes.
Okay. So there's no clutch?
Nope.
Ethan started showing me how this amazing machine works, and it took all of about 15 minutes to make the driveway absolutely perfect for probably the first time ever.
Sick, man. I really think it could go places you couldn't even walk.
I mean, what it does is make places you can walk better.
Yeah, true. Oh, with this packed in driveway, we should see what the top speed of the new Changli is. Because it was so soft and sandy before, and those little wheels, it was really slowing it down. But on this, that's like near pavement level quality.
Chris, are you wearing a regular plumbing company shirt? We haven't given you a Grindhard shirt yet?
Come on.
It's got a Detroit diesel, a screaming two-stroke diesel. They're pretty powerful.
How do you feel about this kid driving your machine?
Oh, I taught him how to drive machines when he was little. We taught him on the backhoe and the cat growing up, and then his dad had a little tractor that he drove around, and he's pretty good. Sometimes he runs them a little hard, but he knows how to move dirt, and he knows how to do what he wants. It's just a matter of learning the machine, you know?
Yeah.
That's a really nice old machine. It's got a lot of power. But it was funny when we were unloading it from the truck that hauled it here. The truck driver pulled the emergency stop, which shuts off the air to the supercharger so the machine gets no air.
Oh.
And it would not start because it didn't get any air. and it would go, and that was it, because that was all the air it could get.
So how did it all start?
Well, it all started by me wanting to get a grader for our road out here. We have about 4 miles of private road that has to be maintained, and over the years, we have always hired somebody with a grader to do it.
Chris was talking about buying a road grader, and I've been, looking at them on Marketplace for a few years because they're cool. And yeah, then Chris was talking about buying one off of Alibaba or something, and talking about different ones. So then one day I found this one on Marketplace, which was actually two important things: relatively local and relatively cheap, and
Reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced, there you go. So yeah, anyway, we just decided to go in on it together and split the cost of it, so we can both
Use it.
use it to maintain our driveways and the road, and then the road fund that everybody pays into to help for the cost of maintenance. We get paid for the time we grade the road, and what's more fun than getting paid to drive a road grader around?
Yeah, they'll pay us for our hourly rate, whatever it is. Nowadays, Woods is charging $190 an hour, so...
Yeah. So we'll be a lot more reasonable than that. It'll take a few years to pay off the cost of the grader, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We really bought it for us more than anything, because who doesn't want a road grader?
Because we like toys.
Exactly. There's a saying, Chris, the older you get, you never stop buying toys. It's just the older you get, the bigger the toys get and the more practical they become.
Well, there's also another saying.
What's that?
The one with the most toys wins.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that, too. But yeah, it's 1989, we think. A Champion D565T. I don't know what the T stands for because it's not turbocharged. It is supercharged.
Yep.
Supercharged two-stroke Detroit diesel. It's, from, as far as I can tell, it is a Detroit 671, which means it's an inline six, and each cylinder is 71 cubic inches.
And that is also known as a bulletproof motor.
Yeah, They
A bomber
they-
motor.
Yeah, they run forever. They sound kind of cool because they sound like they're revving a lot higher than a normal diesel
Right, because they're
because they're
two-stroke.
firing every single. But yeah, well, we should go over to the exciting side of the engine and talk about that anyway.
No, shoot.
That's where the supercharger is. What?
I just realized I lost my wedding ring in the lake last night.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, luckily it was one of these silicone ones. I'm
Yeah,
sure, so-
exactly. Huh, I was hand dragging on the electric surfboard and it's gone.
Yeah.
Woo!
But yeah, there's the big old supercharger. And fun fact, Detroit diesel superchargers are where superchargers on V8 hot rods came from. Like, they pulled them off of these Detroit diesels and slapped it on top of a big old gasoline V8 and started winning drag races back in,
Really?
like, yeah. No, like, this is what, that is the original Roots style blower is off of, like, they're still even measured in the size. A lot of times they're still even measured in size for the engine they came from. So like this is a 671 blower. You would still measure blowers on gasoline engines. Some of them are still labeled after the diesel engine that they came from originally, even though they're like not even made for that anymore. So you might say, oh yeah, I put a 671 blower on my 72 Camaro with a big block or whatever. But yeah, we have actually no idea how many hours on it are on it. The hour meter doesn't work. It does say 12,000 hours on the meter, I think. Is that accurate? We have no idea.
No, when I went down to see it and talked to the old man about it, he said that it wasn't working when he got it.
Right. Yeah.
So-
So it has at least 12,000 hours on it.
Right, which isn't anything for a grader.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
they're meant
20
to go.
25,000 is what,
Yeah.
you know, what they usually go.
Well, and for being made, you know, before I was born, and also having 12,000 hours on it, it's surprisingly tight.
Yeah.
There's not a drop on the ground right now, so it's not. None of them are major. It's got a little bit of. Well, it's too heavy for me to move it around with my
I was
hand.
gonna
But
say.
I was just thinking I could get it bouncing, but yeah, no, it's got a little bit of play here and there. But
Yeah.
I spent,
But it has these 4-rut cylinders,
which are super easy to
which
rebuild.
are extremely easy to rebuild.
Because
Parts that you get for them, that you need for them, are just O-ring seals.
right. So what he's talking about is this bit right here. Instead of having, so another example would be right here. Well, that's still not even the right example, but most modern cylinders, the end of the cylinder is threaded in. So getting that unthreaded takes a just ridiculous amount of torque, and they're usually rusted and seized. This one, it's 4 bolts. You just take those 4 bolts off, and then it just
Boom,
pops
comes
off.
apart.
They're way easier to work on. So
Why
that's
don't
a
they just
plus.
keep it that way?
Probably packaging constraints, because those have to go all the way through, so it's in the way of stuff, and also they don't look as nice. I don't know. There's probably downsides.
Because something like this, you want it to be heavy, right?
Oh yeah. Do you have any idea how much this weighs? I don't. But
Somewhere around 20,000.
huh, that seems light. Because my excavator weighs 27, and this feels like it should be heavier.
No, he said it weighs around 20,000.
Huh. All right. Well, there you go.
Chris, tell us about buying it, who you bought it from, how much you got it for.
Well, I bought it from this old guy down in Deer Park. His name is Delbert, and he was an old construction worker, and he was building his daughter's 2 houses, and he had to build a driveway and smooth out part of the property, and so he bought this old grader for 15 grand when he wanted to start the project, and he just kept it through the whole project, and then he made their driveways, and he made another little road for the neighbors, and then he didn't need it anymore, and he put it on Facebook. I said, hey, I was going to see my dad. I said, hey, I'll stop and look at it on the way down. And I went through Deer Park, and I met Delbert and talked to him about it, and I got in it, and I drove it, and he told me, you know, what he had done to it. He rebuilt a cylinder on the mold board, and he put a couple new gauges in it, and you know, he messed around with it a little bit, but he said he was no mechanic. And I said, well, you know, that's not a problem for us. We got all kinds of mechanics in the family.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, I ended up talking him down a little bit, and he said, you got a deal
We got it for $13,500.
from 15.
Yeah. And then we paid $900 to get it delivered, which seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah.
From, you know,
Deer Park.
2 hours away.
And my dream is we have some auxiliary hydraulics there in the front, is to put a snowblower on the front of it
Whoa.
so we can blow snow.
Yeah, because then we could blow most of the snow off the road and then grade the rest of it behind
Yeah.
it. So, because the blade is called a mold board and it's 14 feet wide. So you can clear a lot of snow with that. But if the snow's super deep, it'll just go over it and
It
you'll run out
comes
of
way out to here.
Yeah, it moves.
You guys are so built different, and I know that our audience is probably like really relates to the way that you guys are, but my wife and I talk about it all the time. We're always like, Ethan's idea of fun is like to work before work, and then work after work, all extremely hard manual labor.
Driving this is not hard manual labor. I drove this thing, 2 weekends ago. I drove this thing for like 3-4 hours on a Saturday. It was the best Saturday I've had in a long time. I had so much fun driving this
It is
thing.
fun.
Also,
They're
Bjorn
really
likes.
fun.
Well, I don't know if he loves riding in it, but he will. Like I picked him up there and put him in there with me, and he was just sitting on the edge, just watching where we were going, just looking
Yeah.
around the whole time,
I
just
know
hanging out.
Sparky's gonna love
Yeah.
Well, maybe I just got to try it out because I did have a whole lot of fun on the Timu Excavator Challenge.
Yeah,
so.
this is like that, but times 1,000,
it. Really, it is.
and way
It's-
faster.
It's got the power too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it'll probably. I mean, we haven't even put it in high range yet, but I bet it easily do like 35, 40 miles an hour.
I think he
Or
said
30, 30, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just basing it off of how fast it'll go in third gear in low range, it probably does like 15 or something like that in low.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 levers in there. And I always imagined, based on seeing all those levers, that it'd be kind of complicated to run it. But it's actually super easy, and having run a bunch of other equipment, very intuitive from that. Because at the end of the day, these two here, you see how they're set back from the rest? These two are the ones you need 90% of the time, because these control the blade cylinders that lift the blade up and down. So while you're grading, you need to set your angle and all the other things to start with, but then once you're moving, you pretty much just need to bring the edge of the blade up and down one side or the other, or both.
to follow the contour of the road.
Yeah, or to cut deeper if you need to cut deeper or whatever. So all these other levers you got to figure out, but like you don't have to switch between them constantly, so it's actually pretty easy. And then other than that, you just got, throttle, brakes that don't work, and then forward, reverse, first, second, third. Also, I found out the fun way that sometimes if you drop it from second to first, it doesn't engage in first. Sometimes if you're like rolling a little bit,
So you slow down.
or just it doesn't at all.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah, every once in a while. So like, if you're, remember the part where it doesn't have brakes?
Yeah.
So you're rolling down the hill and you go, oh, I need to slow down a little bit. Let me drop it into low gear. Every once in a while, it'll just go neutral.
And your fire extinguisher was certified in 2014.
Hey, that's something.
And this is the hand throttle.
Yeah, so you can also, I didn't mess with that at all, because it's kind of nice to be able to suddenly let off the throttle if you need to.
Yeah.
But most of the time you run it standing up.
And then you have this modern China blinker setup.
Yep.
What is this little choke thing?
Hazards. So
I
you would pull that up for
Yeah. And what do you got going on up here?
a bunch of gauges, some of them redundant. This one doesn't do anything. That's a speedometer, doesn't work whatsoever.
Need to go through those.
Hour meter also doesn't work. Oil pressure, whatever, it says drive oil. I don't even know what units we're measuring in there, but that does work. The RPM, I honestly don't remember. Let's find out. Nope. Oh, sorry, we're in gear. I was messing around with that.
No worries. Hey, the oil pressure works. That's an important one.
Yeah, so the oil pressure gauge works. This oil gauge works. Fuel gauge works. You know what? This temperature gauge didn't work before, but now it does. That's new.
Self-healing.
This gauge, there's two temp gauges, and I don't know which one is what. But before, this one worked, and this one was just always pegged, but now it works. We have another oil pressure gauge that maybe is reading something. I really don't know. And then we've got, I don't know, a bunch of light switches. I haven't actually messed with any of those yet, but we have a horn.
in the dark yet?
We have a horn that doesn't work. This seemingly turns on the gauge lights more. I don't know. There's a bunch of switches. They do things, maybe. Yeah, it's a pretty simple machine. Well, it's very complex, but it's simple to run. Also, for those of you who don't know, which is pretty much everyone, because we've never really explained the whole story, Chris is my neighbor, my friend, and more importantly, the man who taught me to weld 25 years ago or something, 22, 24, I don't know, 20-something years ago.
Long time.
Many years ago.
See, that was after you got kicked out of Waldorf.
No, it was
school.
before, actually. I think I was still in the Waldorf school when you first taught me to weld. But yeah, so I grew up hanging out in Chris's shop just up the road, where he built all sorts of random stuff, worked on cars, built bumpers for trucks, like, so that's where I learned the very beginnings of my fabrication skills, but also, more importantly, what I learned is that if you can weld, you can build anything. That was I remember when I was in, I don't know, 5th grade or something, or 4th grade, I don't know, some grade in school, I remember telling somebody in my class, like, oh yeah, I hang out at this guy's shop, he could build anything. And they're like, what do you mean, anything? I was like, he could build anything. They're like, can you build an airplane? I was like, well, yeah, if you had the right tools.
You had airplanes.
Exactly, yeah. Well,
Didn't you have those sketchy fabric ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had an ultralight, so I mean, he flew airplanes, so close enough, right?
Yeah.
And you don't need a license. You can just go for it.
Yep.
And
yeah.
you did that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had 2 of them.
And he crashed them a bunch of times too.
I crashed twice. Yeah.
2 of the other neighbors, there used to be 3 people up here. They all had ultralights, and they had like a landing strip cleared up there and everything. They'd all fly around and crash and get into mischief and mayhem.
Yeah, it's fun. Flying is the greatest. you know.
Yeah.
It's a flying lawn chair. That's what it is.
Yeah, basically. That's a good way to describe an ultralight. I've never flown one, but I've seen them plenty, and they're, flying lawn chair. Chris is kind of the closest thing I've had to a father since I was 14, because mine died of cancer then. So after that, I spent a lot more time hanging out up at the shop and working. Also, we worked construction together for off and on, most of the last 20 years, minus the last 7 since I've been doing grind hard. But Chris also helped build the shop. Anyway, that's Chris. He's very tall and skinny. And that's where I learned to weld. Yes, exactly.
Tall, skinny,
A man of many
talented.
things. Yeah. Chris is also a great grandfather, despite being only 67 years old.
They call me Papa Chris. All the grandkids.
So yeah, Chris has like, what, 7?
9 grandkids.
9 grandkids? And his dad's still alive. So there's many generations of Sand alive right now. His last
5
name is
generations.
Sand. They call him Sandman. That's another
Sandman.
nickname that he has. Chris had a big old tank laying around, so he threw it on here, and we have a water truck.
Oh.
Because if you grade the road this time of year and you don't water it down, it just turns to dust. And then everybody
We're
complains.
going to water it and roller pack it. So Mama Lona's going to be a water truck.
Why is this truck called Mama Lona?
The Mexicans named it. When I worked in Mexico, they call it Mama Lona,
All right.
which, from what I gather, means, big work truck.
Clearly, yeah,
It
clearly.
was gray at times, and we saw some blue skies. You saw the sun for the first time in a while. Put together a list for you because things are getting better. And we're going to watch them continue to get better.